All right, couple of things I want to point out about your book and how to use your book, because your book is really a good resource for you. So first thing is you can get to your book through WebAssign or a couple of other ways, but one of the things that you want to look at is we're in topic 1, our trigonometry and vectors, and we're in topic 2, our motion in 1 dimension. So let's open this up, and I want to show you a couple of things to look at. One, as you're starting to work the problems, or as you're starting to go into your pre-work, one of the things you might want to do is hit the summary, because the summary is going to highlight the parts that we're talking about in the chapter. So the summary is a really good place just to get familiar with, well, what are going to be the key things that I want to look at in my book. So there's our displacement. Here's our average speed, total distance traveled divided by time. Here's our average velocity. Then, as we go through the pages here, you get your other equations, and these are the 3 equations that we got into our toolkit. The other thing that you want to look at is you want to look at the example problems. The example problems are really going to help you out. So as I flip through my chapter here, you'll see your different figures. That kind of helps you go through the explanations. But I want to get to the example. And the way our book does the examples is really kind of nice. He goes through and he gives you what the problem is. Then they give you the strategy, but they also, you could take a 3x5 card or a piece of paper, and you can cover up this side to see if you can go through and do the calculation. So you can actually utilize your example to really work through that. So you can really, and then they give you some things to think about in the problem. But I want you to really see, here's our football one that was very much like the swimmer one that we talked about in a little earlier. Here's talking about the slopes of the graph. Again, that was one of those key points that I made in our discussion. And then we go through all our instantaneous stuff. Life is good. Come in here. But you will see there is, this goes through looking at the train. Now we've got an acceleration problem. And I'll kind of flip there. This is catching a fly ball. But looking at those examples, the motion diagrams, I'm going to get to where I'm headed. I want to get to our free falling objects. And there is the problem that I kind of did with our castle, but it's laid out here for you to see. Now, this problem, we're going to come back to this problem in 2 dimensions. So this is a really good one to study and look at. You really want to pay attention to it so that you can actually see how it's done, read through it, and this one goes through the various different parts. And the critical things that you need to look at is you want to make sure that you understand what the question's asking. Because just finding this distance is easy, but maybe you had to find the distance above the ground. Or maybe you need to find the time when the ball falls here, how long does it take to hit the ground from that point? So there's lots of interesting aspects to it. Also in your, in what I have put into Blackboard, you will see another piece here where I've done a popper video, and I've actually collected the data using the video analysis software, and we've graphed it to see the graphing of the information. So you can actually go through there and it's taking it the reverse, but this is exactly what's happening as we're going up into that arc and coming straight back down, and we're making a one-dimension estimation. So that just kind of showing you about how to use your book. The other thing is when you want to go back, this mathematics review in Appendix A is also very helpful because it goes through and it talks about the signs. And if you flip through it, it's got the quadratic equation. It talks about the symbols that we're using. It references scientific notation, got our algebra rules just to kind of help you through, and just to look at a few other pieces. So you do have that information in your textbook. So I wanted to kind of highlight that for you to show you how to utilize your textbook. All right, I'm going to stop recording now.